Welcome to Explore This, the podcast where we take a peek into the hearts and minds of explorers everywhere and learn what it takes to dedicate your life towards creating a better planet. In our first season, we focus on African explorers and feature scientists, historians, ecologists, journalists, and other experts from across the continent. I am your host, Cornelius Okello.
And I'm your co-host, Gautam Shah.
Today's guest is from Madagascar. Her name is Maholy Ravaloharimanitra. She spends her days deep in the forests, rivers, and swamps to preserve some of Madagascar's most mysterious residents, the bamboo lemurs and the big-headed turtles. Maholy leads conservation work for Aspinall Foundation in Madagascar and is a National Geographic Photo Arc Edge Fellow.
What stands out about her is how she combines field science with genuine community engagement, teaching locals to care for their own wildlife rather than imposing solutions from afar.
Today we are going to talk to her about where she grew up, what made her fall in love with the wild spaces, and how she keeps hope alive when conservation feels impossible, and some small rituals that keep her going. So Maholy, thank you very much for joining us here today.
Thank you for inviting me to this talk, Cornelius and Gautam. I'm very pleased to take part on it.
So we like beginning from the beginning. Where did you grow up and how was it growing up there?
Okay, I grew up from a small village, 100 kilometers in the south of the city of Madagascar. It is called Antanfut. Back then, it was a really small villages. There is no forest left, natural forest left there, only planted forest. So it was a little bit funny for me when I started to go outside my village because I started to discover new trees. So I was wondering, how come it doesn't look like the one I have in my country, in my city, in my little village? Growing up there, you don't have a library. You only have what you are taught at school. So it was a little bit challenging to discover new thing, or if you have interest to something else, then you have to search far away.
Oh, what happened to the natural forests?
They were all cut down for building, for charcoal, for everything that needs tree. And I guess it was because there were never. I have never seen natural trees anymore. So I guess it was during the colonial time when they started to cut all the trees and replace by the quick growing species that they needed for exportation in France.
Okay. So by the time you were born now, the natural forests had disappeared. Now you had got these planted forests.
Oh. Yes.
Wow. Did your parents ever tell you about how it was like when the natural forests were there?
Even my mother haven't seen many of the natural forests in other place. She saw, and she told me there is a lot of orchids in the forest and it's nice and there are many animals there. But by the time I got there myself, all that was gone as well.
So other than the forests, the planted forests, is there anything in particular about where you grew up that you feel nostalgic about?
Oh, yeah. When going to the agricultural field and pick up someone else's fruit.
Do you mean stealing their fruit? Is there a story there that you want to tell us?
I was going to say.
Yes. Yeah.
So basically, you remember being a fruit thief.
Yes. Everyone has its fruit trees in their garden. But no one is taking the fruit from their garden. They are going to someone else's place and steal there.
Why?
But that's like a game for kids. It was fun back then. We didn't know it was bad, but just for fun, and then pick up someone else's fruit.
I thought maybe because at home we have bananas and our neighbor has oranges and we want oranges, so instead of having let's go and take our neighbor's oranges, but it's just for fun.
Yeah.
What a memory. And back then, when you were there and stealing fruits from your neighbors, what did you want to be when you grew up?
When I grew up, I wanted. I love animals and plants. especially flowers, very much. So I wanted to see all those. I wanted to have in one place all the plants, nice flowers, and animals all around. So I was thinking, what can I do? In the beginning, I was thinking, if I can get people manage the agricultural field, then everything will come back. But then I realized that that is not how it works. So I had to
Indeed.
change my goals and then work for the environment at the end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So growing up, other than agricultural lands, was nature or wildlife a big part of your family's life?
No, there were no wildlife in my areas. I saw wildlife in TV and I wanted to see them and I wanted them
Wow.
to be back in my village.
So did the wildlife disappear basically when the natural forests were cleared?
Clear, yes.
So that means even your mother didn't get to see wildlife.
Yes, I think so. The only wildlife that was still common in my area was frogs, the one that we saw in rice field, and then chameleon, the hostility chameleon that is widespread. They survive in any area, so that is the only thing you can see. But apart from that, nothing.
So was it really then it was television that got you interested in nature and the things that you were
Nature,
seeing on TV,
yes.
or were there other things that gave you exposure?
No, only TV, and even the TV back then was just one national TV, and stops at 10 hours at night. So you have it from 6 to 10 hours. So it was a really fun childhood.
This really does sound like my childhood. I think when we were younger, it was called Voice of Kenya back then, and the station would open at 4 in the evening, and by 10 it was closed. So you had got like only 6 hours of television. So there was more or less
Yes,
like that.
yeah,
But
yes, it was like that.
at least you had shows about animals. I don't think we had shows about animals back then.
Yes, but it was mostly animals from Africa, so we know more about giraffe, elephant, hippopotamus, but nothing about Madagascar.
So if you don't mind me asking, what are the most popular or most well-known animals from Madagascar?
The lemur kata, maki. Every people knows what is maki. How does it look like? But there are other lemurs. And the funny thing about that is that when I was kid, when I saw I only know the kata, the maki then, but there are more lemurs around. And when I visited the park, I was saying that, oh, there's another maki there with different color because I didn't know it was something else, but not kata. Yeah.
Maki is ring-tailed lemur, right? The one that got
Lemur, yes.
the one that
Lemur
got
kata.
popular from the movie.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, it even reached the movie outside abroad. So this is how famous is the kata, King Julian.
Yeah, yes, King Julian.
Yes.
I was trying to remember that character's name. So given your background and given that, okay, there's no real first-hand connection with wildlife. And from what we've read about the work you do, we see that you're working with bamboo lemurs and the big-headed turtles. How did you end up focusing on this particular species?
My first work with Aspinal was to work with local community, but when it is too abstract, I cannot work with it. I have to go in field and then see what really happens there. And then that is how I started to work with bamboo lemurs, because when you meet local communities and you want to know where the place that species is found, then you go to the forest. Then when you go to the forest, you discover all the animals that are there. So that is how I started to be working with bamboo lemur. Even though in the beginning I was so scared of snake and I didn't want to go to forest.
Very common fear. I think we're all
Yes, very common here in Madagascar.
Yeah, I think 9 out of 10 people that you meet will tell you, yeah, I'm afraid of snakes. So the fear level will be different. Will be different. I remember recently we were in the field, I think in June, and we were warned where we are going to. There are going to be snakes, and two of my colleagues refused to get out of the car to get in the field. They're like, yeah, if the snakes find me, let them find me in the car. I'm not going to walk to where they are directly. So So when you're working there, how did you overcome this fear of the snakes then? How did you decide, okay, enough, I'm better off going that side and working with them, even if there's a possibility I'll meet snakes?
Yes, I told people I'm really scared of snakes. And then the scientist told me, you don't have to be afraid of Madagascar snakes. They bite maybe, but the bite is not, it doesn't kill you. Just you have small pain. And then after that, it's over. It's different from other countries. So I started to tell myself, okay, try to not be scared and yelling, when you see snakes. And then afterwards, when I looked at all the snake species of Madagascar, and I started to see that they are very interesting animals. And so far, I didn't have any bite. I saw snakes, but they always try to avoid me. For when you meet together, then they try to avoid it. That they don't harm you unless you are trying to do something to them.
Back to the bamboo lemurs and the big-headed
Mhm.
turtles. You said you work with them, that you want to work with animals that have a direct connection to communities. What is the impact, or what is the connection between the bamboo lemurs and the big-headed turtles and communities?
They are all, the area where you find them are all remote.
Mhm.
And most of the time, the people there are have many fadi taboo. They don't touch animals or not kill them, and that is the connection. If you in some place there are still forests left, but there's no animals there because people doesn't have that fadi. But in the area where I am working, they still have that how do we call that? That connection with that belief that animals have spirit, and then you should not touch them because you might touch someone else's ancestor, and that's a connection between them.
Also, they have cultural significance to
Yes,
the
cultural
communities.
significance.
Does this then influence how people in Madagascar will view conservation? Like, for example, what does the average Madagascan person think about conservation?
That's a little bit tricky. The area where there are projects working, then people start to think twice before hunting the species, because they're thinking that might bring something for us, because people are starting to come, and then we can sell food to them, or we can have a house where to host them, so we can earn money from that. But the problem is there are the people that are immigrating in the area, and those people doesn't respect any of that cultural things. So there are some part of the people is for the conservation, and the other one is like, why do you have to tell people to conserve the forest? They need the forest to plant, and then it's a conflictual interest because people are hungry. They don't have enough food. They don't have money. They don't have a way to earn their life. So it's pretty divided, and there are more people, even the people in the that can change things. Sometimes they are against the conservation. They are more, you should focus on people first, but how can people survive if the environment is destroyed?
Exactly. And what does your family and friends think about you working in conservation?
They love it because
Yeah.
going in forest makes me happy. I'm happier when I'm in field than in front of my computer.
True.
But they are
Me too.
happy to, yes.
Yeah.
I try to take them to go with me and to love the animals like I love them, like the environment, like how I love it. So they love that as well.
Oh, that's good. So supportive family and friends.
Yes.
We talk with a number of explorers where usually the families and friends really just have no idea what their son or daughter or friend is doing, and they don't understand why would you want to go into conservation. So it's nice to hear a story, sometimes the
Yes.
opposite, where from the very beginning you have a supportive network.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm.
So supportive that they even want to go out to the field with her. right?
Yes.
That's really it's different. Honestly, it is.
And
So
Maholy, so
Yes.
when you say go out in the field, like I guess it must be amazing, of course, to have a chance to see these animals as part of your work. But how do you actually spend most of your time? What does conservation work actually entail for you on a day-to-day basis?
Unfortunately, since I took over the direction of the project in Madagascar, I am more on computer than in field.
oh,
But to go against that, I bring my computer in the field and work there. So during the day, I'm in forest, and then at night, I try to catch up with the work I should have done during the day.
so you've managed to strike a 50-50 balance.
Yes, I need
Field work
that.
during the day, computer during the night. So what is the hardest part about your work?
As a manager of the project, it's reporting every time and then raising grants. That's really hard. Going in the field is really fun. You go and working with community is always a good experience because there are some thought or some way of thinking that you don't think about. But when you go there, then you feel it, and then it inspires you when you write a project and do when you try to create something for the community. For example, for last year, I was in field when I usually design calendar and cover for notebooks for kids, and they are with inspirational stories for conservation. And this year, the calendar I made, every people loved it because I got inspired when I was in field. So it had more attraction. It was more attractive for people to watch it.
I know these challenges that you're talking about can be especially stressful. Do you have any specific coping mechanisms for that?
Yes, walking, walking and climbing the forest.
Uh-huh.
And then when it's really calm, then you can yell.
It's nice to know I'm not the only one who screams into the ether. So that actually helps you. It helps
That
center you.
helps. Yeah.
Really? Gautam, this is a secret. When life gets so challenging, just scream. Go to somewhere remote and
Yes.
scream.
Yeah. Yeah, my strategy is to when your mind is tired, then make your body tired as well, and then you stop
Oh,
thinking too much about it, and then refresh and go back to where you have left it. And that's
oh
a
wow.
good,
Actually,
and that's a good medicine for me.
that's a very interesting one. When your mind is tired, tire also your body so that it has other things to focus on. I'm definitely going to write that down. Madagascar is often lumped into this one giant homogeneous island, but in actuality, it's very different from region to region. Can you explain some of these differences when working with different people in the field?
You always encounter different way of thinking, different culture, different way of doing things. But at the end, it helps you more the diversity and make the things even more better because you can understand something that you have struggled to really grab what the meaning or how to deal with it. If you have problem with one community, then you go to the others, and then there you find a solution. This is how I should do this, or let me try this one in that community and see what is the outcome. And then after that experience, you have new things to bring to the other one. So it's an eternal exchange between all the area, especially that those area, one is in the dry part of Madagascar and one is in the rainforest. So it's really a different.
I was lucky enough to visit Madagascar last year just as a tourist, which
That's nice.
which was of course spectacular across all the wildlife aspects of it. But
Yeah.
I did find, like, I also was one of those people that got Madagascar. It's one country, but I was up in the north, and culturally
Mm-hmm.
it's completely and totally different than in the south.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the other thing that I did notice, no matter where I went, because I would tell people I live in Kenya, and
Mm-hmm.
they would always respond like, "Oh, you live in Africa."
Yeah.
And so it was like, oh, but so yeah, but in my mind was like, but so do you, right? Like, and but what I realized was like, actually, what I was finding was that a lot of people there don't necessarily associate as, and I'm not saying that they should, but they don't associate as African because they've actually come from many different places and not the actual African continent. But it was yeah, I had no idea that was the case, or that it was just so culturally different from from one side to the other.
Yeah. There
Yeah.
are similarities, but many differences.
I'm very jealous now because I'm the only one on this right now who's never been to Madagascar, and I've been wanting to go to Madagascar. So I'm going to let the
You should
jealousy.
come.
I'm going to let the jealousy wash over me and continue.
Yeah, let me not show you my photographs or tell you any bit more about all the things that I saw.
I'll break your phone.
Yeah.
Anyway, Maholy, as a person who has spent very many years working with communities, can you give us an anecdote or a story of one particular community of one particular community that was so instrumental, or something that was so memorable that you remember till today?
Yes, there is. When I first still at my early stage of working with communities, and I went to the eastern part of Madagascar, and then we were having meeting with the community, and then someone raised his hand and told me, "Oh, madam, we are very hungry." And all my face was starting to change because, oh my God, I kept those people here and they were having meeting while they were starving. And then my assistant told me, no, you are overthinking it. When they said we are hungry, that doesn't mean that they haven't eaten. They were eating something else but rice. They didn't have rice, so they say we are hungry. And at that stage, I just realized that what we've learned in school, because we are always talking about the people being hungry, but in that part, that doesn't what we learn is different from the
What
real hunger that are talked during this the
the
course.
session? I'm laughing at this for two reasons, because in my culture in Kenya, in my tribe, we eat a lot of ugali. And I remember once I was left alone with my father when I was 14, and I made him rice and stew and vegetables, and he told me, "Okay, you've made yourself dinner. Where's my dinner?" So for him, anything that didn't have ugali was not dinner. That's what when you said that, for some reason, I just started laughing. I was like, "Yeah, I understand this." So when you're working with these communities, do you have a secret approach or formula to which you build trust with them?
They usually, I know the community very well. They usually avoid, when you ask a question, they always avoid to respond you directly. So when they are turning around, but you never give up. You will follow them turning around until you get what you want.
Ah. So don't give up.
So that's
Don't give up.
no. Yeah. You really know they are, most of the time they are just giving you the answer that you want, but for sure there is something else. So you keep that in mind, and then you start to know more the community.
Okay. I know
Yeah.
some people say the longer you say the community, the more they trust you, but you've
Yeah.
given me a new secret. Keep persistence. So now we're going to ask personal questions, as if we haven't been asking any so far. If you had a perfect day off, you don't have any meetings to go to, you don't have any community outreach programs, you can leave your phone at home, what would you do with this day?
Taking my camera and going to the forest.
Oh, so you are a photographer.
Yes, I'm trying to be.
How long have you been doing this for?
The taking photography?
Yeah.
Yes, I have visual memory more. I need when I look at something, then I remember. But if I don't have anything to look at, then I forgot it. So, and when I see something beautiful, I want to take a picture and keep it in my memory, and so that I can scroll around it over all the time. So, when I could, I bought a camera, and that is my hobby.
So what kind of photos do you take? Landscape or
Mostly
nature?
animals and flowers. I like taking picture of things that is really challenging to take, like butterfly,
Oh,
small flower. Yes, it's
with
really difficult, but I try. I keep trying, and one day I will have the perfect flying butterfly.
do you use the macro lens so you can get the detail?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
I
Yeah.
found. I found really difficult was everything was so small, and then
Mm-hmm.
I was seeing almost everything at night.
Oh.
Yes.
And so just trying to like, there was this one chameleon. It's like the size of your thumb. It's
Yes.
it's
Really
it's
difficult.
absolutely crazy that that our guide he was even able to find it. I couldn't really
Find.
conceive of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when he would get it, you'd looking at this thing. He's like, how am I even going to focus? Let alone get the exposure right and get the light
Yes.
right
Yeah.
and make it an interesting picture. I can't even focus on something that's so small, or so seeing so many different animals at night, trying to figure out the light. So
Yes.
Madagascar
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
a very interesting photographic challenge, but also just very, very exciting.
Yes. And when they are small, they move a lot as well.
Yeah.
Like the small bird, also they are really
Mm.
difficult. You try to focus, and before you focus in, they are already gone.
Yeah, and you again keep making me jealous because I'm also kind of I
But
want to say
Kenya has a lot of birds as well.
yeah, but we can see them during the day. How Gautam is describing it, I want to go there and photograph this chameleon. I'll come with my camera and my tripod and just with my big telephotos lens and focus on it to get the macro shot. This sounds amazing. So do you use your photography for anything like for your work?
Yes, I use most of my photography for the calendar that I am designing, the notebook for kids, poster for awareness raising, the post we do on Facebook or on social media. I use my photography a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is photography what you got your National Geographic grant for?
No, it's the big-headed turtle. I didn't have any picture of the big-headed turtle before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I only
As
got it during the grants.
okay. So you got a conservation grant and now you're an explorer.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. More personal questions. If you were to
Mm-hmm.
meet the younger version of yourself today, 5-year
Mm-hmm.
old Maholy, 10-year-old Maholy, 15-year-old Maholy, what
Mm-hmm.
advice would you give them? Let's start with the 5-year-old.
Yes, to the 5-year-olds, I will tell her, don't steal someone else.
Wise advice. That's good advice.
Because stealing is not good, but nobody told you it's not good. Or maybe the owner is happy to see the kids around and then didn't tell us anything.
Don't steal the fruit. What about 10-year-old Maholy?
Taking what?
The
Oh,
10-year-old, a
okay, the
10-year-old version of you.
10-year-olds. Don't skip English lessons.
Oh wow! Why? Do you think your English is perfect?
Yes, but I didn't learn it at school.
No.
I
Oh,
was
where
the
did you
one
learn
who's
your English?
on BBC. There
No.
is a program called BBC Africa,
Yes,
and
yes.
there is a lesson to learn English. And I had to learn that because I work for an English organization and I felt ashamed to not speak in English.
Oh wow! Well, I think Gautam, I don't know about you, but I think this is the best this segment has been since we started doing it.
Yeah, no, she's got it's real good advice. I agree.
Yeah. What about the 15-year-old, the teenager? What did you tell teenage Maholy?
I would tell her to not stop in reading books all the
Mm-hmm.
time because
Yeah.
it helps even if the books are not interesting. Sometimes there are some books that have not interesting subject, but it helped me a lot with my vocabularies in French.
Mm-hmm.
Because even the French teaching in Madagascar was not very good back then, but you got books. And then sometimes you're really very picky with the book when you start to have more books at your home. So I will tell her, read everything because everything is interesting and everything will help you with something in the future.
So if we look into the future, what's next for you?
Next for me is I want to pass on this passion that I have, because I know I won't be 20, 30 years, 40 years forever. At some point I will have to stop with the work, but I don't want to lose the progress I had during my work. So now I'm trying to have more people working with me and inspire them with the passion I had. That's the future.
Yeah.
I work more with, now I have more younger generation working with me, because I want them to have the same inspiration.
That's beautiful.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, Maholy.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of other people and organizations have celebrated your work. National Geographic, Aspinall Foundation, On the Edge. But do you ever take a moment to celebrate yourself?
With wine.
There you go. Like however you do it. I just wanted to know, do you ever kind of take that moment and be like, you know what? I'm going to just celebrate myself for a little bit. I feel very proud of what I've done and what I'm doing.
Yes, I am. I really take some time to think, especially when I feel like I want to give up because there are so many problems come in, and I'm thinking about all of the things I have achieved, the recognition that I had. So I celebrate myself. Oh, I've done already that. So why should I give up?
That's amazing. It's really good. I mean, it's really difficult, and I know we talk with a lot of people, and I think about myself, and it is sometimes difficult to look at what you've done and recognize what is, as opposed to what is always what is not. It just feels like you've got a very healthy approach to to many aspects of your life and your work.
Yeah. I think quite a number of people don't feel like they've achieved enough and they deserve to celebrate. So it's really refreshing to hear that you actually do recognize that.
I think the conservation work is really difficult.
Yes.
That every small step you can make is already something that you need to celebrate.
Correct.
Otherwise, you're going to go crazy.
You will go into the forest to scream and never come back. So, Maholy, what do you want your legacy to be?
My legacy to be is the kids becoming all conservationists and being aware about the fact that they need to do something and change the way they are living to be more protective towards the environment.
Perfect. So we like wrapping up by giving a toast, but we'd like our guests to give the toast. So I will say, here is to, and then you will finish with a toast. Okay. I know I don't have to ask you to think of one. I know you have 5 already ready in your head. Okay. So here's to.
Cheers to the future of conservation, especially the conservation of the big-headed turtle and lemurs in Madagascar, with the participation of kids.
Here.
Excellent.
So thank you very much, Maholy, for spending time with us. It's been such a lovely and cheerful and upbeat conversation.
We had a question in our notes. We had a question in our notes that said, "What's something that makes you laugh?"
Yes.
But what's really nice is like, oh wow, but Maholy laughs a lot. She it doesn't take much, so we don't really need to ask her that question. It's such a pleasure.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for that.
It's a pleasure for me too, and thank you very much for having me for this session.
That's it for this episode of Explore This. Thanks for listening. Until next time, keep exploring.